What are we looking at? What is this? Again, type this bash into here and wow, look, immediately. The Age of Enlightenment, also known as the Age of Reason or simply the Enlightenment. The Enlightenment. That's right, everyone. The Enlightenment. Did you know? Did you know? And they want you to bash, be an idiot about, oh, the word is a bird and bird is a word and ha ha, smashed. Nothing. Right? The fool, this guy. He's saying, ha ha, the word is a bird, and they're all ha ha, laughing and gathering around him and smashing. No. What's going on? Was an intellectual and philosophical movement that dominated the world of ideas in Europe during the 18th century, the century of philosophy, the love of Sophia, the love of knowledge, and this and this and bash, 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 nothing. What is going on? The century of philosophy. Did you know, bud? Oh, no. I forgot. But thank goodness for these images that go along with the bash. So apparently some bash, disheveled bash woman showing her breasts, and just the guy's like, yes, I'm shooting a gun, a pistol into the air or something. And it's a red flag with blue or purple. What's going on? No. It's just the love of knowledge, and she's leading the way. And men is just bash, ravaging, killing each other behind her. What's going on? What is going on? Isn't this Napoleon? This is Napoleon. Who knew? And this and that and this and this and that and this and this and not that and this certainly, but sometimes the exception. Right? Look at these gigantic bash. What is going on? This looks like some bash cinder block. They're in a cinder block, and these are little teeny tiny people, and they're just bashing. And they're like, this is how we get out of the cinder block. Guys, you just gotta listen. The philosophy. Oh, what did I even... Look, what is this? Look, they're in a bash cinder block. They're in a bash cinder block, and they're all hooting and hollering and all just professing some bash energy. And they're saying, look, just focus on my hand. And when I say the command, you all do the same bash, and then bash, something will happen, okay? Just wait for it. And action. And then all the bashes up here are saying, wait, what are you doing? Wait for me. Is this some bash owl? Look, it's a bash owl looking down. What is going on? What is this? Who knows? But it's enlightenment, people. It's enlightenment. And you're like, no, you just don't understand. You just don't know. You don't even know what you're talking about. Look, clearly it's this and that, and it's this bash person in history, and he's talking in that bash, and this bash is that bash, that's the Pope, and he's somehow bashed, and this and that, and everybody's just smashing, and this and this and that, and this is actually called this type of architecture, and that type of curve, and this type of pillar, and certainly this was this type of material, and that type of material, and who knew this style is called this and that, and that one is called this and that, and that's called the rat tail, and this is called leotards, and these are called bashes, and these are called bash hoods of bash hoods. So, okay. Amazing. Thank goodness that we know everything. Whoa, amazing. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Because look, enlightenment is also some bash light bulb with an open book. Amazing. And it is also, look, the Milky Way. The Milky Bash way to the galaxy. Who knew? Who knew you could just bash, meditate, and sit down and get hemorrhoids and then just go with this guy? Go wherever this guy went. Just follow this guy. Okay? Follow that guy. That guy knows the way. Look at him. He's like ripping and writing. ripping and writing, and just words are smashing around his head like nobody's business. And he's also a arms dealer. Who knew? He's going around smashing, distributing weapons. Who knew? Because he wants to protect man with men's words. And created. That's the only thing he maintains. An illusory denial of God. In a godless world, that man is his own will by his own word. You know, all the bashes that say, oh, my bond is my word, and this, and this, and that. Oh, that's such a respectable man. This and that, nothing. Nothing. False promise. For what word fills and restores their mind and their heart? Certainly not bash manhood's ways. Nope. Certainly not. And that includes this, and that, and this, and smash nothing. Because, again, look. What is... Age of Enlightenment. Hit the history. Oh, what is... Because everything just bash life came from nothing, right? Oh, amazing. Right? Life from nothing. Abiogenesis, apparently. Oh, but then people are saying, no, it was revolutionary when we said, wow, life just brings life. Life from life. You can't get life from non-life. Right? What is this? What does this say? Life from nothing? Abiogenesis, or informally the origin of life, is the natural process by which life has arisen from non-living matter, such as simple organic compounds. While the details of this process are still unknown, the prevailing scientific hypothesis is that the transition from non-living to living entities was not a single event, but an evolutionary process of increasing complexity that involved molecular self-replication, self-assembly, and self-betterment. And you can do it too. Oh, what shame. So it's just all self-sustainable, all just bash. It's made itself. Life made itself, didn't you know, people? And that's why you're it. You're the God. You're the God that just bashed everything and made yourself, and somehow you get to just restore it all too. Oh, what a shame. Man has completely lost his mind. Man has lost his mind. No, he has deceived himself. Because it's oh so amazing. Exactly. Abuser of life. Just fulfilling their own bashhood of what they bash. Are so proud that they believe it is. Oh, well, just smashing and defiling and smashing and defiling and smashing, distorting and boasting that they are the change. They're the change. Of course. They're the master manipulators of illusion. Giving their lives in servitude to the shape-shifting ways of false promise. Who knew? In denial of the true promise, life everlasting, which is all, it's everything, but you deny it. You boast that it's this, and you hate it because somehow it's this, and somehow you're late, right? You're late. You're doing something or taking place after the expected, proper, or usual time. Oh, I just wish things were just different, or this. Oh, it's just late. Just bashed. It's just late. It's just bashed late, but then you're like, wait. There's always next time. And then you're late again. And it's just late. It's just somehow delayed. Everything's just bashed. Seems like it's one step forward and bashhood's back. But it's not even a foot forward. No, it's just carving out of life. It's just abusing life. Pushing some bashing that's crushing you and you don't even know. And that's why you're late for a very important date. With what? Who knows? But you're working for it. You're working for it and it's promising you something and you'll get it. and you'll achieve it, and somehow you'll win. You'll win. But no. Some late goal. Too little, too late. Right? Or this or that, or this or nothing. No. But to you, it's this. Amazing. All because of this. Right? You're just a bash frequency, right? You're just a bash frequency. So you're a bash this. You're just bash light somehow. Refracting and refracting and bash double bending and in and out, and it's there and not there. But somehow it is. But somehow it's not. And this and this and that and that and this and this and that. And whoa, amazing. Just totally discombobulated. Totally harmful and cancerous. Because somehow the sun blasts and kills you. Right? Somehow the sun just blasts and kills you. So you better watch out. You better lather up. And you better just stay inside soon because it's getting so hot. And this little layer is not going to be able to protect you much longer, people. That's why we're relentlessly spraying it or saying we're spraying it and just, bash. You decide what we're doing. But somehow it's the air is something that you can fill. So we're just filling it with stuff. And don't worry, kids will boast that it's all the carbon dioxide and this and the pollution. But guys, look, who knew that you can create things, little tiny particles out of smashing dust? So you just smash it. You don't create it. You just smash some dust and then put it into some bash and then put it through some bashes and then look. You can make little tiny clouds and this and this and that. Wow, who knew? And this and that and that. So what you're seeing, you're like, oh, it's just this and this and that because I know the name of it. And this and that. No. What are you doing? Nothing. You're just boasting that you know that the sun blasts and that Taco Bell is going to blast you because it's a hot burrito Tuesday or whatever bash. And now you're just going to be sucking back pina coladas at your next ozone vacation to space. Right? Outer space. Nothing. Right? Look, amazing. Altitude. 50K. Who knew? Oh, gotta make that sweet 50K per month. Otherwise, my life is bash. Because I don't want to be making 15K a year. Wow. That would be a stupid. And this and this and that and this and that. And but everyone deserves a chance. So give 15K for everyone. And therefore, they will have somewhat of a bash life. And they can shoot for the stars. And then climb the little bash pyramid of enlightenment. So that they can just be amazing and just smash and bash and bash and smash and love crystals and just keep a bash hood of bash hoods. And then keep projecting some bash relative void. Sense of love. Sense of truth. Sense of bash hood. Respecting everyone in your little bash pyramid. Gladly stepping into some pod and saying, yes, I'm going to go do my spiritual work now. And then you just go in there and you bash. Get some bash needle stuck into your spine. And now this is how you enhance. Because it's just about enhancement. You're relentlessly enhancing, right? You want to enhance everything. Enhance. Enhance. Because you're late. So somehow you just have to innovate and bash. I just bounce around from nothing. Because somehow you're doing something. No. If it's from nothing, then surely you're doing nothing. It's just some bash thing that's just bashing. And then the sun's going to die and you will die too. Who knew? So just get what you can with your amino acids and your biological knowledge of geophysical and chemical bash hoods, of geochemistry and oceanography and RNA world. That you can't forget about the carbohydrates because they're the ones that bashed you since 1952 with the Miller-Urey experiment. Did you know? Oh, what's MASH? Read it for yourself. Who cares? And this and the alternative panspermia hypothesis. Who knew? Who knew there was a alternative? Whoa, there's always an alternative, right? Because it's everything from nothing. So it's surely infinite possibilities. It's just infinite, and we could never know anything. So we're just some bash Exactly. You're some bash frequency that just couldn't wait to just bounce around and kick around. It just supposed to reflect, raft, and riff, and reflect, and reflect, and whatever, according to your bash vibration, accordingly to what's your source. But what's the source? And you're like, oh, that's why I need to raise it. I am the tool. I am the instrument for the frequency. I'm the antenna, and I'm just bashing, and I can bash it and manipulate it, and then bash as I will, and this and this. What nonsense? Amazing. So everybody's just out there, squinting their eyes and hoping for the best while they're mutating their DNA because they're bashing in higher frequency. Yes, look, see. So they're somewhere in the gamma between the bash and the radio. Who knew? And this is visible. This is the visible bash, and this is the invisible. Amazing. So it's this little bash mouse tail that just swivels and swivels and swivels around. And then an arrow with red all the way to purple. And somehow there's blue and green in the middle. And you'll say, exactly, you bash. You just don't understand what this is. And the wisdom of this, right? Oh, this and that and this and this and this and that and bash, right? Amazing, right? Because, look, what is this, right? This, exactly, the pyramid, right? The bash lotus of bash load of something, of some bash. Look, double-sided breast of some sort, and it's just bashing down or up or to who knows. But it's somehow there, and the top is the purple, and the bottom is the red. It's somehow, wow, look, the heart chakra is earth, is green. Who knew? We're in the middle, people. This is Middle Earth, everyone. And this, and this, and that, and this, and smash, nothing. All because worshippers of this. Worshippers of that. Worshippers of this. Right? What is this? The third eye. A third eye. Worshippers of the image. Exactly. What image? Oh, who knows? But you decide. No, exactly. You're not deciding. You're just worshiping the image, thinking you're deciding for yourself. Wow, what a shame. So what are you deciding? I don't know, but somehow I'm just the best citizen ever, the best human being in history, and this and this and that and this and no, nothing. Because you're just this, apparently. So why do you even give yourself a purpose? Oh, it's because we're enlightened. Right. If you're just a bash animal, there's no such thing. Look, it's just bash what you call it. No, nothing. Right? What a shame. Clearly, you're not an animal. But people insist because surely they come from this, from nothing. However, a number of discoveries suggest that life may have appeared on Earth even earlier than, who knows, eons ago. As of 2017, microfossils, or fossilized microorganisms within hydrothermal vent precipitated date from 3.77 to 4.28 billion years old found in rocks in Quebec may harbor the oldest record of life on Earth. Who knew? Suggesting life started soon after ocean formation 4.4 billion years ago. So it was just there, right? Are they going to say, well, we had it kind of wrong, and it just, life was immediately there, smashed. But no. It's just you're still stuck in that bash, late for a very important date philosophy. You gotta figure it out soon. It's due tomorrow, the deadline. But no, you can't. You get an extension. You'll figure out. You'll figure out. Don't worry. Because there's so many unexpected things happening, and you're just, it's just so unexpected. It's just surprised. You're always surprised day in, day out at bash. It's just you have like some dementia and you're bashed and you're just like, no, what we need is this, a reform, right? Make changes in something typically a social, political, or economic institution or practice in order to improve it. Exactly. Self-betterment. Improve through reform. Just reform your brain, people. Change your mind. Just blast light into it and now just become a new person. But no, they say, oh, you need to just do these mantras and just bash love yourself relentlessly, and that's how you bash your mind. And that's the reformation of man. So apparently you're going to self-evolve and keep bashing for betterment. For betterment, people, didn't you know? Right, because people believe there's novelty. No, there's nothing new under the sun. It's all the same bashhood. The action or process of reforming an institution or practice of denoting or pertaining to reform. Oh, Judaism, right? Oh, the reform of this and that and this. Wow. And everybody's just begging for it. Begging. Because they believe they are the change. They believe they have the answer. Answer to what? Of how to smash harder. Exactly. Clearly, worshippers of this, because apparently you can just bash light into itself and bash, just watch it, and this is how we know this. And everything and this, and it just tells you, and therefore deceive it by the light. That's what you worship. That which murmurs and ships and bashes somehow is uncertain, and you can't trust your eyes, and bash, you can't trust what you see, and this is it, but somehow you can be certain about whatever it is that you're doing, because it's what you image or you worship, and your image and what you identify. But clearly, don't identify with the vain things. Just know how to value your life and give things that are actually worthwhile just the attention, and things and this and that, and bash like old friends that just smash you and bring you down. And I mean, come on. It's endless, but it's bash, futile, and worthless. All of that bash knowledge is nonsense. It bashes nothing. The only thing that smashes is the truth. Because otherwise you're just smashing and bouncing around, smashing, thinking that you're bash doing better. No. It's just wallowing and swiveling and just bibbling and just boasting in the swamp. That's what you're doing. That's what we all do when we say, this is the only thing we can see, so therefore, who knows? It could be anything. And you just bash, keep doing what it is that you think you're doing, and they're just getting smashed. Even further. No hope, no nothing. But hope, and yes, and you can get sucky, and this, and that, and pleasure island, and go to there, and this, blah, eat that, and this, that, visit this, blah, guzzle everything you can around you. And then boast that you're just pumping out just recycled little poops. Because you're just the ultimate recycling factory. I'm a distillery and a fermentation bash. You can get any fill. You want a foundation? Okay, just give me these items to consume, and then I will just give me a month. And it will cover at least, let's just say, a 100 square feet of just solid fill. Exactly. So you're the relentless little factory, and then you're just smashing. That's why you're smashing. Not because you're smashing. Is it that you say, oh, I'm not smashing? No. Because the truth smashes you, cracks you open. And you're like, that's when you become just the savage. The savage. You unleash the fury that you actually just are. It's just the complete abuse state. The abuse hood comes out, and you say, no, violence, this, or just attack. Because you say, no, how dare you? No, none of what is this. I'm a good person, and this and that. How dare you speak in generalities, and how dare you do this? A passion. What shame. Because thank goodness we have this, right? Just I'll tell them to watch this video, okay? I'll tell them, look, listen, okay, calm down. Look, just watch this. This will calm you down. What water does in space is mesmerizing, clearly. So, wow. Yes. Have you ever seen a floating ball of water? So, no. So, you better watch, because astronaut Scott Kelly is going to smash you and say, wow, food coloring can be injected into an antacid tablet to it. Who knew? And it's mashable. Who knew? Okay, so it's just blobbing around, blob, blob, blob. And there's Scott Kelly, who knew? And now he's smashing and smashing and bashing. And look, now this ball is just smashing and bashing too. And look, things are flying off of it. The antacid, right? The balls, the fizzles, and this and this and this. Oh, whoa, who knew? Just watch it fizzle inside. Whoa, pop, who knew? Pop goes the weasel, and look, they made it green. Wow. Look, some bash, and look, it's a bash, it's not quite a sphere, but look, it's somehow shape-shifting, and it's an egg, and not an egg, and there's a light inside, and look, it looks fantastical, it's just a gem that's rotating, and gonna crystallize and give us knowledge. Mashable news. Oh, I don't know about you, but that certainly calmed me down. It's good to know that there is a movie that shows you what water does in space. Amazing, right? Because surely you're like, well, I'm enlightened enough to know that this is real because it's the image that I'm watching, and clearly the image never deceives and never bashes and never does anything, because clearly the truth is just there and you can see it. Clearly we all see the truth. Clearly we all just enlightened because it just was the age of reason and bash philosophy. And clearly we're after that age, so clearly we all know what's bashing and smashing. And we're all just frequencies that are just somehow lost the ability to vibrate in accordance to the biosphere and this and that, which is preventing us from being the real wizards of the world, right? The Harry Potters and the bashes of this and that, and the last airbender of this, and just the mashhood of the seventh son of the seventh son, and who knew the bashhoods of the Antarctic Galactica warriors of who knew where from kingdom from a long, long time ago, right? Smashed. What is going on? Clearly, you're the double rainbow that you're going to cry and maybe laugh and chuckle, but it's overplayed, and now you don't even know what is funny. But somehow you claim and boast that things are funny and say, wow, funny things just make me not get sunburned and sizzled by the sun, because it's just some bash miracle that the sun just smashes the earth and somehow the earth smashes back. It's just this relentless battle, but somehow it's just a relationship and a symbiosis with mutualism and this and that. It's just S&M and M&S and M&Ms and galore candy. You got it. And it's a candy apple because clearly the earth is just too delicious. And everybody just wants a piece of it, and that's why there's a galactic treaty of treaties between this, and there's a quarantine and bash. People are betting against Earth and in it, for it, favor out of this and that, and there's great gain in the knowledge of man, and this, and man is just a scorpion that will betray itself, but somehow it's just worthy of being sent out to the galactic bird that just flies around, which is the phoenix, and it decides when it bashes, kills, and when it rises again. It decides. It's for itself. It's just part of the natural history of nothing. Didn't you know, bud? Oh, no. Clearly it's not that. Clearly, because clearly it's this. And clearly it's the Pink Floyd bashhood and the bashhoods of bashhoods. And clearly this is just clearly a cloud, right? And it's just some bash water that's just somehow in the air. Amazing. And this, and I can clearly tell when it's not a cloud and when it's a cloud. And I can clearly tell a scorpion from another scorpion. And I can clearly tell red from white. And clearly fall is red because all the trees and bash hoods are changing the chemicals in their bash leaves because according to the light that they receive from the sun and the angles of the light just shapeshift the cells and make them change color. And then they bash fall and die, according to you. And then this and that, and then winter comes and it's just all so white and blissful, and it's just white everywhere except for the bash carnage of the bones left from the carnage of the bash fall, right? Because it's all just desolation to you. And it's just up to the bash spring to just boost it all back again. And it's just bash spring and it just smells funny. And now it's gonna just bash get wet for a little bit, but now it's gonna get okay. And it's soon everything is green and blossoming. Bash all the spectrum. And you don't know why, but somehow it makes you feel yes, and it's warm and it's breezy and it's laughable, and you say, wow, this is amazing. Or you just live one season the whole team. Because it's a team for you. You're like, yes, Team Summer. Who's with me? And you say, it's the people of the sun. The people of the sun, thank you, Rage Against the Machine. You knew what you were talking about. No, what shame. People of the sun. Yeah, worshippers of the light. Okay, so he's a sun worshipper, this, and that. Who knew? Well, pushing this. That's knowledge, people. Didn't you know you're just bash frequency? Energy. You're just bash energy that cannot be created nor destroyed. It's just there. It always was. And that's what you are. And this and this and that and that and that. Nothing. So it was always there. It's infinite. So it's just bash. And this is somehow just smash. It's just a bash thing. An image. So you create your image in that image and then everything's good. But somehow you're late. And, oh, thank goodness for this. Because they don't show us spinning. Because this spinning will just smash. It would disappear. It would all disappear. A little smash, little drops that just bashed and smashed. Bye, water. Goodbye, water. But somehow, Earth is doing that. Amazing. Yes, because of gravity. And gravity is doing this too. Amazing. And it's just work. It's just amazing. Thank goodness for this video. And thank goodness for gravity because it's holding things together. Because man is surely not smashing hard enough to get it together, because man is just somehow just popping out. It's fizzling. Pss, 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 pss. Right? No. What shame. What shame. Because this is a magic that you love. And some Chris Bash Angel is just some entertainer. And this isn't. This is real, people. This is real because I'm so enlightened. Because that same bash drop that you saw is what's inside of me. That floating bash is just me and me and me and me and me. And I'm there floating with it. And I can ascend. Because it's all just fluid, man. Didn't you know? Didn't you know it's all just fluidity, man? Didn't you know? But it's just enlightenment, man. It's just too good. It's just too good to be there, all right? To be the creator and the sorcerer of your own becoming and smashing and of what? What are you becoming into? Some bashwood? Oh, we're just going to create a utopia, bud. Didn't you know? Of socialism. Didn't you know? A utopia of reform. Who cares what you call it? Some reform. Some just new way. Some new way that you will get to decide what it is. Whether it's with the help of some bash. Well, it already has been. With the help of the bash downloads. And connections with all the bash gods that you say you have and the whispers of nowhere. Right? I mean, look. Again, couldn't wait. So what's this guy doing? Exactly. Yeah, that's what you worship. But you also say, oh no, these guys are killing you, people. They're the Illuminati and this and this and that and smash and bash the Masons. And it's the mystery schools and bash, it's the occult. And this and this and that. Papa, watch out for the Eye of Horus and this and that. And look, this stone was ancient. It was carved. It lights up. It's ultraviolet under black light or whatever, bash. And you can see things written on the back. And who knew? right? And this and all the pyramids of Egypt were amazing, and somehow they're just the key of life. It's Bash sacred geometry and Bash, and it's watching you. No, you the Vesica Pisces is smashing you. It's eating you alive. Look, what are you doing? All this Bash wisdom is nothing. Is nothing. For clearly life brings life. And what created life? Yes, the Father, the beginning and the end. The Almighty God, who knew. But no, it couldn't be. To you, it's just life outside of God forever, because life just kind of gave you, and you gave it. And somehow it's the yin and the yang and the blast and nothing. Worshipper of yourself. Worshipper of your Bash idea of transformation and Bash metamorphosis into something that you will then deem worthy. No. What a shame. All men's works are filthy rags. I mean, what is it that we're actually doing? Accomplishing nothing. We're just disheveled, punch drunk, thinking we're doing something when actually we're just engaging as was done to us, abuse. Yes. Abusers of ourselves and others who knew all for some temporary gain, temporary satisfaction of, oh, look, mesmerizing. Because you're late and you don't know why, but you're sure as heck doing everything possible to get it together. To be there on time. To be proper. Right? To see the opportunity when it comes. To not be taken by surprise by what? Just be resilient and this and this and this. Know how to just get through it and bash, right? But no. False promise in the reform. Right? You no longer need some bash idea of some guy whipping you to do work. No, you're doing it. You're pushing, and you call it challenge. And you say, no, I'm challenging myself to rise and bash, rise and bash, get more cash and bash, educate myself with further bash like this and this and this and that. But I call it the age of enlightenment, and then I call it little relentless tiny names of careers and options and bash initiatives and bash businesses of nothing. Because what is a push? The same thing. A life outside of God, which is surely death forever. For instead of seeing that this is it, there's nothing to be accomplished, but everything to be seen. For in your denial and your defiance of the only knowledge, the only enlightenment, meaning the only way, you have created bash infinite ways through your worship of your bash third eye, through believing that this is it, that your wisdom, the study of light, is what you say it is. What shame. Was it not heaven and earth in the beginning? And does not light have a creator? No, it just blasted. It created itself. Don't worry about it. Amazing. And there's no such thing as wisdom in the way that our Genesis, our history, the beginning. For surely we have the beginning and the end through the spirit of all prophecy. Yes. The truth, the way, and the life. But no, it's just man's words that apparently are valuable and worthy of our worship. Don't worry, guys. We're being led in the right direction. Because, don't worry, we're going to protect you against the frequencies. right? Because all along you've been manipulated through this bashhood, right? Because you think physically they're bashing you with things that blast, frequencies through you, and like they're cooking you alive. But really, this believing in this is what's cooking you. Because this just keeps you believing that you can go out there and change the world, make it a better place. And you're like, oh, how dare you not say that you can't? Right. Okay, go ahead, suffer and die. Because clearly you're not deceived, and clearly you know exactly what to do. And clearly, if you were to be given the power and control and money and relentless funding, it would all be amazing. And you're like, no, 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 no. I'm not that arrogant. I want to include communities and bashhoods and bashhoods and bashhoods, blah, 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 blah. No, exactly. Nothing. Because what is going on? Clearly, this is what you believe is a source of, right? Enlightenment. And once man becomes that synthesis, he is God ultimately. Meaning he is the ultimate master. He is the authority. Right. What shame. The only authority is the word of God, not the word of man. And you'll say, well, who wrote the word of God? And you'll say, man, exactly. Right. So you're mocking your own belief because clearly man wrote your wisdom. But no, it's because you deny the wisdom of the Father, because you can bash words and have them mean nothing. But what is the wisdom behind, in them, through them? Right? What is that? What does it shatter in you? What does it actually, so to speak, catalyze within? The ultimate call of man from his creator. To instill the peace and joy that he is loved. For clearly the world will show you that it does not care about you. Life does not care. The world does not give a damn. And of course, the belief system that you have supports it. And every suffering that you have lived proves it to you. And you're like, yep, there's no such thing as a God. Because if there was a loving God, suffering would not be permitted. And this. And certainly I wouldn't have suffered what I've suffered. And this and this and that. Exactly. The relentless justifier of the injustice. For you continue to be proudful and resentful, seeing oneself as a victim, begging, complaining, not seeing that the love of the Father is relentless. Day in, day out, the most wicked lives, and also the most saintly, according to man's superficial judgment. So, what ultimately brings about the sufferings of the world? Exactly, man, not God. We are at the mercy of ourselves in our own destruction for having elected ourselves over God. seeing ourselves above God for our own betterment, for we surely knew better than God. And that's the bashwood, that's the gateway to the abyss, to the nothingness that you will and profess to believe in and to come from. With shame. Repent. Let Christ Jesus restore our hearts, our minds, our perversions. Be rid from us. For we have always known what it is through, of course, what we see. But we have succumbed to the image that is worshipped, meaning the whole doctrine and dogma and bash images that you associate with what it is that they say it is. And the Father's wisdom is the only thing that shatters and allows you to see. Do not be deceived. Because clearly man has gone out of his way, the only way to deceive. Why, you say? Well, because who knew that there's a state of being that is so wicked that it brings about an experience of euphoria in you that you never knew you could reach. Without knowing how to do it, how to ritualize it, how to evoke it yourself. And you're doing all the work to be able to manipulate just your state of being. Right? And therefore the state of the world. And this, and this, and this. Right? What's going on? A state of being. Through dust and through powders that you just mash together and then bash. Rub everywhere and this and this and that. And do chants and chants and chants and chants and chants. And repeat and do something. But nothing to something. Don't worry about it, guys. I want just one last thing here that I wanted to remind myself. When he opened the abyss, smoke rose from it like the smoke from gigantic furnace. There's dust, some bashed smoke. And also, the temple was filled with smoke from the glory of God and from his power. And no one could enter the temple until the 7 plagues of the 7 angels had passed or something. And again, they shouted, Hallelujah. The smoke from her goes up forever and ever. Locusts came down on earth and were given power like a scorpion. And out of the smoke, of her burning, right? with her and shared her luxury see the smoke of her burning. They will weep and mourn over her. When they see the smoke of her burning, they will exclaim, was there ever a city like this great city? So, again, right, your Bash looking at some Bash. What is this? Smoke. Looks like smoke. Oh no, Bash, it's called the Milky Way. Didn't you know about? Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh, thank goodness. And Bash. So people, clearly it's a reform that you're after. Let's make sure we organize and just get together and just have action committees and bash, go out and get support. Get people that will come out to the streets with pots and pans and demand the power be given and distributed somehow. And just pony up with all the cash because we could all just use some more of it, please. Otherwise, we're just going to bash rate and take it ourselves and this and this and that, right? No, nothing. What shame calling for a reform. What a shame. Reform of what? It's like saying, okay, I demand my house to be remodeled. And then just by doing that, somehow you're a better person. And it looks really nice. And it's livable for a while until the next reform. Who knew? And you call that evolution. And you call that styles. And you call that seasons. No, what shame. Do you know the times? Do you know the signs and the seasons? What is going on? No, clearly you know because you're the reform. You're the change. So you clearly know what it is. But somehow you're late. En retard. En retard! Who knew? And stuff like that. And this and stuff like this. But clearly it's the owl that just swoops down in the night and defiles with his long legs. Because who knew? And it's clearly Ariel's voice that just smashes and is locked inside of you, but you need to release it with the power of the crystal. Because without it, you're nothing. Without it, you're nothing, people. Without the crystals and all this Bash wizardry worship, you're nothing. That's why the caveman was Bash, because he didn't have this Bashhood. And thank goodness for the super aliens that just came down and smashed and gave it to them. Because otherwise, they'd just be Bash. They'd be no good. It'd just be nothing, and then it would just be Bashhood. Too bad. And the caveman just carved it out and bashed and started hand painting because who knew that by using their hands they become more enlightened just by having some little appendage that swivels and people can pick stuff up with it. So other apes have hands, but no, they just were en retard. They were late for the party and they didn't get the reform ticket. They were denied entry into the reform. And somehow those who were created the Bash new reform then became late. And then they were stuck. Because somehow the UV rays just bashed them there. The DNA just transforms according to the sun's intensity, and that's evolution. So the sun has been in control of all the evolution because of its intensity of UV ray and how it adapts DNA and blah, blah, blah. No, so what shame. So DNA knows exactly what to do, right? Because of the frequencies of Bashhoods and Bashhoods. Okay, so how do the frequencies know what to do? No. It's just oscillations, and this is repeating. So blah blah blah. So they repeat it at a particular tone, so to speak, as a song. So who knows the song? What is the song? Why is there a song? Why is it doing that and this and that? And you're like, no. It's just the way it is. It's just super amazing. Who knew? It's a mystery. What a shame. There's nothing. There's no mystery. It's a true living God, that's what it is, but no, you deny it, and you choose a life outside of God. That is based in exactly this, the worship of light, the worship of the image that man has created for himself, and boasting, and promoting, and professing, and denying the hand that actually feeds, cutting itself. Hacking at the lifeline. You're like, no, why did we cut all the trees of the earth? No, exactly, because we're ultimately hacking away at the lifeline, the way, the truth, and the life forever, right? The saving word, the unconditional love of the Father, the resolve of creation, and the defiance of man, so that man can live with God forever. For what is life? Life does not exist outside of God. Life does not create itself. Life does not come from nothing. It's just the teeny tiny little names that you created that just created some fantastical image that then you can boast and worship, and then create your own story of what you are in that bash image and how you're boasting and changing and shape shifting, all while being defiled, abusing yourself and others, and cooking up some dream for yourself, all while being destroyed. And for every dream that's satisfied, apparently, billions are destroyed. But you'll get to see the bash success stories and hope for the best. And as long as you get a piece of the pie, you're not going to say one word, but you'll complain relentlessly. Inside you're a bag of just garbage. Inside you're a tuffle, you're a scuffle, you're in the octagon daily and you're getting punch drunk. And this is just so fantastical and you couldn't wait to guzzle it down. All while you keep just abusing yourself and others. Who knew? All in self-betterment, self-boast, betterment. Because somehow you're in charge. You must cure Gaia. You must take back your wicked ways and do this all on your own effort. No man can save himself, let alone another. Jesus Christ and Jesus Christ alone is the truth, the way, and the life. He has done it. It is finished. Do you know? What is it? Our certainty. Where's our loyalty and our faith? For clearly our image is nothing. Our image is nothing, but we say it's everything. Well, no, we're in the image of God. Man is in the image of God. Not man is the image. Well, what a shame. Wow, what is going on? UV, fearing the sun. And it's UV. Fear the sun, people. Oh, but ultimately it's what gives life. So, exactly, just a counterfeit. For truly, fearing God is the beginning of wisdom. Because fearing death and all its bashhood is destruction, with temporary pockets of euphoria and this and this and that and this and this and this and this. Nothing. Euphoria that you mistake for love and caring and compassion and altruism and all this bashhood that just sinks you and chokes you out and anchors you down in the river. Because you just got in the way. You just got in the way and you were no good. You were just in the way of progress. You were just in the way of success. You were just in the way of evolution. So therefore, you must be just choked out and just delivered. It's a mercy kill, right? It's a mercy kill, people. We decide who lives and who dies in the womb. Because we wouldn't want somebody who's en retard to just have some bash life. We wouldn't want to have somebody that's just constantly at disadvantage in this world because the world is already at a disadvantage. So we want to give somebody the best circumstance possible physically to get forward and be a bash that is worth a bash, right? All because of this and this and that. So therefore, we're so enlightened that we're creating a way that we can just justify our own savage destruction. So don't worry, those who are best fit to survive because of their ascending DNA and crystallization and all this bashhood are going to get to just see the way and just understand this bashhood, false love of doctrine of false promise that you adore. The relentless infinite possibility of the doorway that leads to anywhere. Well, some doorway that just goes somewhere but nowhere. And now all of a sudden you're shapeshifted and defiled. Whoa, who knew? Right? All because you think you can just walk outside of the cinder block that you think you're in. What a shame. No, you're in the image of God. Who knew? There's no escape. God knows our heart. There's no hiding in our own bash name of light worship. But we have made it so we worship our own image of future, our own image of change, our own image of betterment, and our own image of love and accomplishment and embrace and success smashed. All because we believe that we are one somehow, but somehow we're just so different. We are one but different, and just bash, 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 and this and this and that. And don't you get it, bud? Oh, you just don't get it, bud. And this and this. Okay, amazing. So everyone's just relative, 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 but then they're just the same thing somehow. Oh, amazing. Amazing. And the little teeny tiny dust tells you, you're like, okay, this looks different from that, but look, it's a fractal, the fractal, it's all just one thing. Whoa. No, because you'll boast that this one's so different than that one. And they're all just the multiplexes of verses. Look, guys, this is one multiverse and another multi-bash, and this is smashing, that they're all smashing together. And the vortices, but somehow water just keeps itself, and as long as you don't spin it, it just keeps a little passion. You're in it. You're in it and in it to win it. Don't worry. Don't you worry. Because the axe will just come down on your head and you won't feel a thing. You won't feel a thing. Because your belief just passed you into enlightenment. Wow. No. The only image that you see is your own bashhood. And you have carved out a way that you say is the way out because it feels good. You can feel the experience of some euphoria. Of euphoria, even though that the world in front of you is continuing in its destruction. So somehow you're just shape shifting. But somehow you want to save it, and you want to save it. So you're going to save it somehow. Amazing. Because you believe it. You believe you're going to save the world. Amazing. And look at all the belief, because surely these bashers believed the same thing. Did they not? Apparently that's what they tell you. So you've evolved enough in the last 100 years to where now you get to decide who lives and who dies now. Oh, amazing. Amazing. No, what a shame. It has been spoken, the holiness of the holiest, that his is the true promise. And man is to be holy in the most unholiest of living, meaning a life outside of God. For that's what man has done. Succumbed to a life outside of God fully, and deceived himself that he's with God somehow. Through his own understanding and interpretation of what man has come to think that God is. That man has outgrown God somehow, and that somehow man is now shape-shifting on his own, because clearly now he has all that is required to be transformed. And that's where the false promise is, the transformation. No. The Father is the one who brings about the new heaven and the new earth. Man does not bring the new heaven and the new earth forward in the sense of by his power, by his will. No. It is in our will to worship God, to live by his sword of truth. For it instructs us and fills us with wisdom, love, joy, and peace, tranquility, in all that may come forward in life. And that there is no salvation outside of Christ, who paid the debt for our bash wickedness, the sins of the world. Everything that has ever been done and is done outside of God. We must forgive those who have sinned against us, as the Father has forgiven and revealed to man in the resurrection of Christ. We are to be filled with His love in life and be filled with certainty of His promise. Not to be in anxiety and disheveledness with our sense of security of what we can come to provide for ourselves through our own effort and through our own bash desertion. What is going on? Nothing. But thank goodness for this water bash movie. Source, NASA. That's telling me that water just, well, it's just a little bash fizzling thing that's smashing. And food coloring. Thank goodness I live on that. Oh, thank goodness. Because now I don't feel so late. Now I don't feel so late to some past reform that I don't even know about. Because I don't even know what I'm looking at anymore. Oh, I don't know. I just have faith in what this bash wisdom provides. Right? So a complete reversal. Man denies faith, but they say, "Oh, this is it, guys. This is truth. This is truth." So a symbol has now taken place for truth, enlightenment. Life outside of God, which is nothing. Meaning life from nothing. Life from nothing is nothing, because certainly it doesn't not even exist. We'll end it there.